What would you do if you were on your way in your car to somewhere and you happened to be stopped by these Insulate Britain terrorists? Would you be like the blokes who took the matters into their own hands?
Literally drive them over. No, I'd run them over. I've literally made no secret about that. I would completely run them over. I think if they were in a completely different...
A guy tried to today.
Oh, I would.
I was like,
But Esther, would you not... OK, I just need to analyse this. I need to analyse this. Would you not think I could end up in prison for 10, 20 years? You'd just go?
Yep.
You're driving through the mess.
Oh, yes.
We can't be advocating running people over.
Oh, please don't do what I'm saying, but I would.
No, we can't. We really can't. However, when you see that poor woman today who was begging them to let her through because her 80-year-old mother was in hospital, and I'm not surprised people took action to their own hands. You know, there should be an automatic jail sentence for these people. You know,
yes.
Priti Patel, whatever law she's passed, it's not tough enough. She has to say to them all, if you're there blocking a road, you're going to be arrested, there's going to be no court case, it's a jail sentence. 6 months.
How ineffective is our policing system?
Well,
this is the 11th day.
The police seem not to be interested, but I think...
They were 4 hours today, Karen. Again, the 11th day of this madness.
You know, in this country, people are allowed to protest. That's absolutely right. What they're not allowed to do is endanger lives.
But this is not protest.
They're not allowed to endanger lives. They're not allowed to wreck
Carol, do you
lives.
agree with me that this is not protest?
Well, well, now, since Priti Patel passed the new laws, you're right, it is absolutely criminal behaviour, which is why... But I wonder how many of the 38 or so who are arrested today will be charged and taken to a court and put in jail. They won't be. No, they won't be charged.
But the thing is, it was criminal behaviour beforehand because they were blocking highways. The issue is we have these soft-touch judges who clearly sympathise with their cause because we saw what happened with the Extinction Rebellion. And so we need tougher laws. We need tougher laws. Benjamin Butterworth, are you one of these woke people who take issue with me describing this mob as eco-terrorists?
I mean, I don't think it's a useful term, and if you're trying to get them prosecuted and in prison, which I have to say, at this stage of the behaviour, it might have been over 11 days, but it's the 4th week, so this has been going on for a while. They should be behind bars for a period of time, because that's the only way to stop them. Is it terrorism?
So even you say...
Absolutely. And is it terrorism? Of course.
You say lock these folk up and throw away the key.
Yeah.
Well, I don't say throw away the key, but I think that would stop them doing it. And it's been very clear at this point, and these are repeat offenders. You know, I was listening to the discussion about this on Colin Brazier's show before yours, and he was saying about how the legal situation is actually quite complicated for why they're literally being arrested, going to the prison station, the police station,
and then
going back out.
I'm sick of the excuses.
The reason why they're doing this is because they're not scared of the law. They're not scared of the punishment. For them, what they're doing is worth any punishment, which will probably not even come. That's the thing. I absolutely... Those people that dragged them off the road, they should have had, like, at least 10 times the number and kept them off the road. And that would have been justified, because you're disrupting public life.
But, you know, Esther, I'll guarantee that the guys who did that will be talked to by the police. They won't get away with doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
I suspect they'll be...
Which is why I would run them over. I would.
But look, but the thing that really frustrates me is that I was watching a number of the videos that came out from this morning's, inverted commas, protests, and they said different things for why they were doing it. There was one man that said, oh, it's because of the pollution. There was another one that said, oh, it's because of the traffic problems. There was another one that said climate change. Well, I thought this was meant to be about house insulation. And so I think these people, the reason I have lost any sympathy I might have had is because I don't think they really believe in a cause. I don't think they are proper protesters. I think they revel in the disruption itself.
Eco-terrorists who want to cause trouble at any cost, they're threatening the government. And I said last week, I think Michael Gove made a huge mistake back in 2019 when he agreed to meet with that little extremist, Greta Thunberg, and that horrible mob.
Because
why is that a ridiculous statement?
You claim to believe in free speech.
She is a little extremist.
Yet you call her a little extremist.
I can call her a little extremist, and she can say what she wants. And we actually play a lot of her extreme words on my show.
I mean, Greta Thunberg isn't an extremist. She is a passionate and informed and popular advocate for tackling climate change.
God only knows why. She should be back in school.
Esther thinks she should be back in school.
No, I'm serious. Honestly, but it's completely absurd. Like, the whole world is taking this girl seriously. When the reason why children don't run the world is because they're children. Even 21-year-olds that live off vodka and kebabs don't know very much, and they're pursuing degrees.
I mean, do you know what I find
this
fascinating?
is ridiculous.
You try and make this a freedom of speech issue. The thing that shocks me most, you were so horrified because you live in your little woke metropolitan elite bubble, all eating your quinoa salads and everything. You're so shocked that someone might dare to criticise Greta Thunberg. For you, that is so shocking. That's me exercising my freedom of speech, Benjamin Butterworth.
Well, I mean, that's you abusing it because she's clearly not an extremist. She is an advocate for tackling climate change.
Greta Thunberg wants to shut down our economy, essentially. She is an extremist. And you don't think she's extreme, what she's wanting us to do?
Not at all. And the reason that she has engaged...
She talks nonsense.
The reason she has engaged so many
because she's a child. How is everyone taking
because
a child
she speaks for the generation that will be worst affected.
Then the generation
is
very, very not clever.
She also tells lies. She stood up last week and she said, you know, all politicians ever do is use good words, which is exactly what she does. What does she actually do for climate change?
Remember that, Carol?
Blah, blah, blah. Yes, but
she is a child.
Honestly, that's what everything you say sounds like to me.
Particularly Britain is doing nothing about climate.
Total lie.
It's nonsense.
We're leading the world. And we're going to be there by net zero, by 2050. Net zero, Greta. But you know what? We actually want a population that isn't starving to death. You know, we want to be continuing to work. We don't want to run our industries into the ground. We have to do this responsibly.
If we get to net zero by 2030, I don't think people realise the cost of it. You know, it's at least 100 grand per household.
Yeah.
If the original estimate was 30 grand. Now it's 100 grand.
If we were doing it by 2030, as Thunberg and her fellow little extremists want, Benjamin, we would have no economy left. It's already going to cost this country.
Why does this girl never stand in the middle of Tiananmen Square or somewhere in India or somewhere in Indonesia that pollute to their heart's content? Why doesn't she go there?
Thunberg. I would love to send Thunberg to China. I would love to send the Insulate Britain mob to China. I'd love to send the Extinction Rebellion mob to China.
Well, I tell you what, it's called leadership, Dan, and we should be proud.
We should lead her to China with a one-way ticket.
We should be proud if this country and European nations show some leadership so that China has the pressure to follow.
You really think they're going to follow?
Britain only produces 1% of the world's global emissions. China manufactures 26%.
Look at the top 50
and it's going up. China's emissions are going up year on year.
Why should countries like China or India, these huge polluters, why should they cut their emissions if we don't do it ourselves?
But we
need a moral authority, and that's why it's so important.
Are you aware that China's emissions are actually going up?
You're not looking at the figures. We produce 1% of the world's global emissions, and
they're going down
half in the last.
They're going drastically down, and now 26% and rising by the day.
The amount that we've cut it by is slightly misleading because we've lots of our polluting industries.
Are you
like
living in a fairy world?
We import from China.
Are you living in like a fairy world? You don't understand. We're cutting it by half, and China is increasing it year by year. And it's almost a third of the world's pollution figures. What about that don't you understand?
Every 2 weeks in China.
And that's why we should be a leader on this issue.
We should take her there on a one-way ticket.
We are leading the Western world. We're doing more than the US. We're doing more than Canada. We're doing more than France. We're doing more than Germany. We're doing far more than Australia. What more do you want? Do you honestly want to let that little extremist Greta Thunberg run us into the ground, run our economy into the ground? She can go and deal with her own country.
I can't even believe she's been taken seriously. Seriously.
Millions of people, young people across the world, the Western world mainly, listen to Greta Thunberg.
Because they have nothing better to do. Because there's nothing going on.
Yeah, but they don't change their own lifestyle.
She is a hero of her generation.
Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows, and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.